Well, greetings. And today we get to meet John, and he is going to introduce himself and his company. So, first of all, thank you, John, for taking some time out of your busy schedule and spending with us this morning.
Of course, absolutely. My name's, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, just go ahead. Please tell us who you are
Yeah, of
and how do we find you and what your company is.
course. My name's John Savatos. I am the owner of Ground Floor Guitar, a guitar shop here in Omaha, Nebraska. We specialize in pre-owned instruments, a lot of high-end vintage stuff, and repair and restoration. We fix a huge chunk of our community's instruments. We sell a lot of great retail. We're very known for a lot of our high-end vintage type of pieces. And we also have stuff for the entry-level player. And we're a business retailer like no one else in our city, honestly. So we have a unique thing that we offer our community and patrons, and we love doing it.
Love it. Well, how long have you been in business and what brought you to become this kind of a business owner and start this business?
Sure. So the shop was initially started in 2016, the brick and mortar version of the shop. We were a block down the street from our current location. Then we moved into our building now in 2018. I initially had a background in guitar and instrument building. Over 10 years ago, I attended like guitar building school. So what that's called is a luthier. And a luthier is an old world term for like lutes, like old medieval instruments that you see in like Renaissance paintings. That's like the term. So I did traditional college here in Omaha, and then I went to LUTHIER School out in Atlanta, Georgia. Moved out there, studied the art of guitar building and repair and restoration work. Then I ended up getting picked up by some touring bands. And I lived on tour buses for quite a number of years. I was the guy that would run out on side stage, fixing instruments in live performances with bands. Then in my off time, I started to develop a small following, fixing instruments locally in our music scene here in Omaha. And Omaha is very well known for a lot of our music that comes out of here. There's a lot of rock and roll, punk rock bands, all kinds of stuff. Our initial owner of the shop needed a guitar technician, and he is someone I used to tour with. Hired me on to become the guitar technician at the shop. I started doing that for a few years. Then he expanded his enterprise as an entrepreneur. Then in 2019, presented me with the opportunity to take over the existing business, which then by this point I was sort of running. And then in 2019, signed all the paperwork and took over as full-blown owner of the store.
Well,
And that's where we're at
congratulations. That's
now. And
exciting.
I've helped expand and grow the vision in a way which I would see fit to our community. I tweaked the business model a little bit, and it's been quite successful since. So just kind of getting an understanding of what people want, what our customers want. We're in a pretty newly gentrified neighborhood in Omaha as well. So there's a lot of opportunities that we have that maybe other businesses don't. It's a very hip community, lots of bars and restaurants and a lot of foot traffic, and we take full advantage of that. So we love being where we are.
Beautiful. Well, what an exciting time to be able to now put your fingerprints all over this and grow
Yeah,
it with the vision that you have. That's
yeah.
that's exciting. So let's talk about that a little bit because oftentimes we do meet people that have a subject matter expertise, right? Maybe they're trained to be a dentist and that they're at the chair side or electrician, and they've got these great technical skills, and now they're running a business and trying to figure out how to do that. So share with us what might be a surprise for you that you bumped into as becoming the business owner.
Sure. The biggest thing when I took over in 2019, within a few short months, COVID hit, and I had no idea what to do. I took out a large loan to try and reestablish the business, and that immediately turned into survival mode right out of the gate. you can never expect things like that. But, you know, that's one example. And obviously the COVID and the pandemic affected a lot of small businesses. We were lucky enough to get some funding and get through it. But some of the challenges are, you know, you never know what's going to happen in business. You know, it's not been the easiest ride, but every day is a little unique. And you got to roll with the punches. You know, the biggest thing is understanding your customers and being as flexible as you can, and managing your time and getting a full understanding of how the day-to-day works. And sometimes the day-to-day isn't what you can always expect. You know, in this kind of world, in retail especially, you know, there are slow days. There's also very busy days. But keeping a positive mindset and keeping, you know, an end goal in mind is crucial. You never know. There can be weeks that get you down with low sales. You know, we're often affected by foot traffic and stuff too. However, we are a destination shop. Our customers do seek us out from quite far and wide, and we have a business that is unique to what we do, and there's no other stores that offer kind of an experience like we have in sort of the whole the regional Midwest. So we're based in Omaha, like dead center in the country. So we get customers in from Iowa, South Dakota, Kansas City, and everywhere in between. So being flexible has been one of the in understanding how business can go up and down, but staying positive and getting through those challenging moments is really paramount. And keeping a positive attitude is one of the best things I can recommend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. You reference time management, or we call it time mastery. So,
Of course.
what insights do you have regarding work-life integration? I don't use the word balance anymore because I
Yeah,
don't believe that exists.
for sure.
Work-life integration, how do you approach that?
It's something I'm still working on. I do work quite often. I try and do my best by one of the key things that I found is I try never to take my work home with me. So I'm obviously at the store working a lot. However, once I'm done with work, I try my best to leave it at work. It allows me to separate my home life from the business. I know a lot of other business owners do oftentimes work at home. For me, home is my safe zone to de-stress from the day. So I try my best. I would rather work a longer day to get my work done. That way my home life can be my personal life. You know, I have a fiance, I'm engaged. She's also a business owner as well. So we have a very challenging home life, and trying to find time together can be very challenging at times. So we really make it a priority to try our best to keep work at work and enjoy the time that we do have, because we are a busy couple, to enjoy it ourselves at home as much as we can, with work staying here behind us. So
Beautiful.
that's how I try and do it, at least.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, congratulations on having a fiance, and I'm
Oh,
sure
thank
that
you.
there's some plans there that are exciting. So,
Yeah.
curious about if you were to start this business from square
Hmm.
one, right?
Hmm.
What would you do differently?
It's a great question. Um, I think something that uh, I would do different would be, let me think about that for a quick second. Maybe understanding in business to expect the unexpected. You know, a lot of business owners have, you go in understanding being, I'm going to be my own boss and all of these things. However, when the ship starts to sink, or when things need to get real, you need to be ready for those challenges. You know, there's any business owner, I'm sure, can back me up in saying that things just happen. You know, the cost of doing business. Sometimes pipes break, sometimes glass gets broken, you know, things catch on fire. You know, not all of that's happened here, but you know, you never know, you know, but you don't expect that when you're young and motivated. You don't understand those things. So, and it's been a challenge to push through certain aspects of stuff, but you know, understanding that again, being flexible and understanding that you know, things do get better. You can get through things. We got through COVID. That was probably my hardest year, you know, is I was just thinking, this is absolutely crazy. What am I doing? But things got better. We had a good turn in business. People, you know, when they were at home, wanted to play. So we thrived for a little bit through it. And you persevere, you know, understanding that keeping a positive attitude can really affect the outcome in a lot of stuff, as dim as it can be, but staying focused and really committing to doing it. Commitment is something that is paramount in business as well. You know, you either are kind of in it or you're not, and having the courage to jump in the fire is key. If you're not ready, then no one's really ready. But if you can't take that step, then maybe someone should not potentially do business. You'd have to have the guts to kind of do it, and you know, be willing to take risk. You know, but I'm a risk taker, and it's paid off so far to me. So I'm really happy with what I'm doing. So
Beautiful. That's a key too, isn't it? To find the joy and the meaning and purpose in what it is that you're doing.
Absolutely.
That greater good.
Absolutely, 100%. You know, what we do is we serve a community, and I really tried to think of my customers as community rather than just clients or customers. You know, we foster a space that's very warm and welcoming in a unique business model compared to other, I guess, more music stores per se. We're a real guitar shop, and we're a neighborhood shop. And having that, the community around us is crucial. We want people to feel welcoming. For instance, when I was a young man, my father would take me to guitar shops, and I know very distinctly what it was like being an awkward kid, not knowing how to ask questions, and meeting the guy behind the counter, but being intimidated by people. So what we try and do is be as friendly and welcoming as we can to all backgrounds. We have an unbelievably diverse clientele, people from all backgrounds, all orientations, all economic groups, and everyone gets treated the same, which is with respect and understanding. You know, and good clients will come back to you. And we've been lucky to have, I mean, outstanding customers that have really become friends of ours. You know, we help their kids. Now, I've been doing it long enough to now we're able to see high school kids that I've worked with for years are now graduating college, you know, or people have taken off in their songwriting or things like that. And, you know, we've been to even be a small part of that means the world to us, and makes me motivated to keep doing what we're doing.
Absolutely. You're almost doing life together, isn't it?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. You had referenced earlier about the mindset, and so let's talk about that a little bit from a growth perspective. So, you know, you personally, as a person, a leader, a business owner, what areas of growth do you think are important, and how do you grow?
Great question. We're working on a little bit of trying to figure out some business growth ourselves with, and I keep referencing the pandemic and stuff. It really allowed me to, it sort of reset retail and our kind of industry as a whole. And it really made me reflect of the pre-pandemic time to current times. Demand in technology has changed a lot of stuff in a lot of ways. And what I've been trying to do is, what the shop is currently trying to do is focus a bit more on e-commerce. Something that I think that's going to be crucial to us going forward is figuring out how we can do online growth, online marketing. We're lucky to have a popular Instagram and social media following, and we're now trying to play a lot more heavily into that aspect because that's what modern branding is. You know, for us, I don't think it's about putting up billboards per se. I think it is using, you know, one of these things, an iPhone. That's how young people get into stuff. It's been such a tool for us to figure out. And then if we can put our products, we're updating our website, getting more stuff in, staying current with brands that we may not be privy to, asking our customers what they want. Maybe, you know, if we're no experts, and I always say I'm not an expert in any of this stuff, but, you know, we reach out to our customers being like, what products do you want in? And we really play in that. And if we can get the products, it's great for us. We can support other small businesses. Then in turn around, we can get products to that our customers want, and then we can profit on top of that. So our big focus is e-commerce growth. We're trying to do a bit more community engagement. I've been trying to open up this shop into a bit more of a not really a community center, but doing more community-based things. I'm working on putting on an all-female singer-songwriter in-store performance in the shop to give a safe place for some of our female songwriters who maybe have a tougher time booking shows or things like that, and just to create a fun environment for that. We did one other show earlier this year. It was a huge success. And people really seem to dig that. I'm no music venue by any means, but just doing something different, you know. And so those are a couple of things is, you know, internet and e-commerce growth is really what we're doing. Online marketing is we're trying to beef up all of that sort of presence and things. And then a bit more community engagement, figuring out how to put our name out there to draw more people in and keep going into 2024 and in the future.
Beautiful, beautiful. Need to have a plan, need to have a vision for sure. So
Absolutely.
let's talk about your team. You're not running a shop by yourself. You have a team of people. What do you look for? And what kind of qualities and what kind of environment are you creating there?
You know, it's really been a spot where I want people to feel like they can be themselves. We don't have a dress code or anything like that. And we do have a lot of fun here, but work becomes work for sure. Someone that I look for has to obviously because of we're in a specialized field, guitars. You know, anyone that would want to be an asset to our team would have to have a background in instruments and being familiar with certain things. They don't have to be an expert by any stretch of the means, but at least have a passion and a loose understanding of certain brands, and some general experience in, I guess, the music industry to a certain extent. No one has to be this, you know, seasoned person, you know, it's specifically, but something along those lines, hardworking, and I want them to feel free to be themselves as well. You know, it may be a little stuffy if we all wore, you know, polo shirts here. You know, I'm wearing a hoodie right now, but people want that. You know, we're working class people. So, but yeah, so someone that's got a loose understanding of instruments, and has a pleasant disposition. I can't tell you enough how many stories I've heard of grumpy guitar shop employees, you know what I mean? Over the years, you know, in the 80s and 90s, you know, people being intimidated. And people, you have to be kind, and you have to have an understanding demeanor that, you know, if a mom and their kid come in and they know nothing about stuff, you know, make them feel welcome. Make them not feel awkward. You know, embrace their the new feelings that they have and the challenges that they may have with trying to come into an instrument store. A lot of people feel intimidated coming here, and then quickly myself and my assistants can ease that awkwardness and make them feel at home. We have a shop dog who brings out people love him. He's kind of a little celebrity. And we make it a real homey kind of feeling. It's a really homey shop rather than a sterile music store. So it's with the whole store is kind of a reflection of myself. Some of my customers will put up or artwork. Some of my employees will put up artwork and fun things that just give the shop a lot of personality. And but yeah, I really like someone to put in their own kind of flavor to stuff, you know. Even though I'm in charge, I want the people that work with me, our team, to make it their own as well, because that's what, again, community is. You know, it's a reflection of the people who you surround yourself with as a whole. And you know, as long as someone's hardworking and willing to learn, you know, we would welcome a variety of people. So yeah, but we love the people I work with. Absolutely.
I love it. Sounds like a fun, healthy environment,
Mhm.
expressive, has its own personality and unique.
Exactly.
Love
Yep.
that.
Yep.
I'm curious about if you were to give yourself advice to a younger self, right? So,
Mhm.
let's say an 18, 20-year-old John, what
Mhm.
advice would you give your younger self?
I've been thinking about this question when I read it. Um, I couldn't have imagined that if I was 18, like a high school senior, the piece of the, to sum it up, I would say, be willing to take risks. Life goes by. I'm 39 now, so I'll be 40 next year. Had I not decided to take the jump and work for myself, I don't know if I would be in a better spot now. Rather, I feel like I would have regretted not
Mm,
taking the risk as an older person. Um, as you know, life does not slow down, and opportunities can present themselves. And I think a lot of people get scared to jump in the fire. But jumping in the fire, so to speak, is what ignites a fire within.
mhm,
And if you subdue that, sometimes it can just eat away at you. But once you have a taste of self-motivation and a small amount of success, it's been able to really keep me motivated to keep going. I feel like I would have been too scared back then to understand that now. But if I could give myself any piece of advice, it'd be to take risk. And maybe I waited too long, you know, but there's no exact timeline when you do this. People in their 40s start businesses also all the time, you know, so there isn't a timeline. But uh you know, that's what I would say is be willing to be open to life, the challenges it can throw you, and take risks, because you only get one shot. And I think life is worth pulling some moves if you can. You know, you never know what the outcome is going to be in a lot of ways. And you know, if it's something that and I'm lucky enough to have a lifestyle and family life that was able to encourage and support me through this. um, but and I know it's not the same for everyone, uh, but take risks, jump in, try it. You got to try. If you don't try, you never know what you're missing out on. So that's
beautiful.
the piece of advice I would give my younger self.
That's great advice. And I like to think, you're never ready till you start. And
Exactly.
and I love the passion even in the words that you're choosing when you jump into the fire so that you can ignite the fire from within.
Yeah.
And it is sad in life when people miss out on that opportunity. So good for you. Appreciate that
Thank you.
encouragement.
Thanks. Yeah.
John, thank you so much for sharing your insights and your learnings and the wisdom as a business owner and someone who actually managed the business before you owned it.
Hmm.
And it will be fun to come and check out your shop and grow with you. And where do we find you? What's your address?
So we're located in the district called the Blackstone District in Omaha, Nebraska. It's in the Midtown area part of the city. Our shop is just west of the intersection of 40th and Farnham Street. Our physical address is 4009 Farnham Street, Omaha, Nebraska, and we're open 6 days a week. and we're here a lot. I'm here before we even open most of the time working. So if anyone's wants to bring me a coffee, they can knock on the window and I'll gladly accept.
Love that. Love
Yep.
that. Well, we'll have to meet for coffee. Thank you so much, John. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
100%. Yes, of course.